Hey, I was in a bar just the other night, and a guy that was really, really intoxicated, drunk as this skunk, he came up to me and he said, he said, "What's the difference between just a dog and a fox?" And I looked at him and I said, "Oh, 3 drinks." Okay, now we're going to get on to some real stuff. Stick with me, okay? I mean, I know that's the worst part of the show. Now we're going to get into real stuff, okay? I couldn't even remember. I had a little blockage on that one because I was thinking, this is probably a dirty joke. Venezuela, talking about dirty. They got oil over there. Is oil dirty? Some people kind of think so, particularly all the environmentalists, climate change kind of wackos. But you know what? Socialists don't like it either. Even if they think they do, they don't know what to do with it. Venezuela used to be one of the richest countries in Latin America, and today they've lost 20 pounds per person on average because there's no food. Socialism is an awful thing. All the people in America who are preaching socialism should be forced to go live in Venezuela and see what it's all about. And then when they came back, well, they shouldn't be allowed to come back, actually, but when they did, maybe they'd have a different perspective, right? You know, close to 5 million people have fled the country. They've all gone over to Colombia, 5 million people. There's 25 million more to go. You know, legalization of a whole bunch of stuff is required, particularly guns, because all the people had their guns taken away. They can't even defend themselves. Or people coming and stealing their food, what little they do have. Inflation is at 200,000% this year. So when anybody talks to you about socialism, give them pushback. Preach the message, because socialism is a bad thing. You know, the things that come out of the mouths of some students is just absurd because they buy into this socialist stuff. They're so misinformed. I spoke to one here recently, a young girl, probably 19 years old, and she voted for the Green Party in Canada because that's the only way that all of her university grants would be secured. And I said, "What do you mean by that, secured? Where did he get that idea?" And she says, "Well, R&D funding is," she went on and on. She just talked silly. And I said, "Good grief, I don't know what you're saying. I mean, this is very, very frightening because that's just not true." Educated, but they have empty heads. And she had so many other things to say as well. You know, if the right had the government, they'll take all of our money away and they'll close the doors and they won't let us get educated. I said, well, if this is education, I wish somebody would lock the doors. In the United States of America, there's 32 teams in the NFL. And some black people have recently gotten together and said, there's a lot of unfairness going on. You guys are prejudiced against us. Out of the 32 teams, only 3 head coaches are black. And we demand a law that will say that we get equal representation. We want half of those positions. Okay, I'd give it to them. And then in turn, I would say, we'll do the same with the players. Because at the moment, those guys making the $20 and $30 million a year, whatever it is they get paid, some obscene amount, at the moment, 3/4 of them are black. So you get more coaches and white people get more positions, and maybe the game won't be as good, but we'll save a bunch of money, and now it's kind of like an equal salt and pepper shaker. How do you like that? I mean, come on. I mean, it's all about quality of and ability, and I don't think that there's any racial stuff going on. I really don't believe that. Maybe I'm wrong, strike me down, but I think you'll probably get hired as a coach because you're better than somebody else. Do they really look at your color? I doubt it. To argue with a liberal, profundity coming at you here. Words of wisdom from your wiser advisor. To argue with a liberal who's renounced the use of reason is like giving medicine to the dead. Y'all come back here tomorrow, get more for you from the right. See ya.